Hey, thanks for slithering in. Welcome back to the channel. I am building in The Sims 4 again today, duh, but we are building a dance studio with an apartment on top. I was really inspired to do another like small home business kind of build with the businesses and hobbies expansion pack. I have done a few in the past. I've done a pottery store. What else have I done? Um, there have been a couple, but those are so fun to build. Oh, a cafe bookstore, I think, is another one that I really enjoy doing. So I wanted to do something kind of industrial like vibe, and I don't know, like some kind of activity that I could personally relate to. So, kind of a backstory about me a little bit first at the very top of this video is that I spent most of my life, like from the ages of 5 to, geez, probably almost 18, 17, 18, right around there, pretty much in the cheerleading space. And I know this isn't like a cheerleading studio, but stick with me because cheerleading then turned into at some point, it introduced me to dance at like probably in high school is when the dancing kind of really started. So that's super fun. And then I did a little bit after high school as well, just kind of like a weekly class for myself, just for funsies. And I really kind of miss that sometimes, but life is life and here we are. But anyway, I was really inspired to do a dance studio here, and right now we are trying to figure out the color scheme a little bit. We are here in the world of Nordhaven. I always forget which way we're supposed to say it. But we are in this world. This is the world that came with businesses and hobbies, and I just wanted it to kind of blend in a little bit. So you can see I'm trying to lean in with some of the bricks here. I'm looking at a lot of the other buildings in the world to try and get it together. I think it might change a little bit, but right now this is what we're going to stick with, and we're just going to figure out window placements and things. So, yeah. I hope you all are having a great first month of the year. It's like February now, I think, when I'm posting it. Let me look at my calendar. Yeah, this video is going live February 1st, which is kind of funny because I built this late 2025. Like, I have been catching up with some of these builds and doing these voiceovers because I've had a rough start to the year, but we're not going to get into that just right now anyway. But we're changing some of the colors here. We're going more, I think I was trying to do like a greenish, like a dark green a little bit, but then I ended up sticking with this black paneling with the brick pairing. And I thought it was really fun and using a lot of windows from businesses and hobbies. But then I think those are some of the windows from Love Struck, I believe, but also we're using glass walls as well. What I struggled the most with this build was definitely the exterior one, getting the shape right, and then getting like the details kind of right, like from columns to platforms, and then even down to the landscaping. Um, Builds like this are pretty hard for me when it comes to landscaping, as you guys might know if you've been around for a minute, that I really like the overgrown kind of like messy landscaping, cottage, think like cottage living kind of landscaping, right? So those are like my go-tos. So whenever I do like a business lot or a community lot, I really have a hard time trying to figure out the landscaping because the landscaping typically, I guess, should be pretty clean and intentional. Um, Intentional is a funny word because that's kind of my word for the year. Hopefully, we'll see. I think I'm going to talk about that in another video though, so we're not going to talk about that here. But we've got the layout, I think, for the dance studio down below pretty much figured out. And I don't remember if I do the layout for the apartment above on camera. We'll have to see. I really do love how the apartment came together though. So I really can't wait to like sit down and talk to you guys about that because one, like I was saying, the hardest part for me was literally figuring out this exterior part. Now we're gonna start putting in the columns, and I think that's when it kind of starts clicking a little bit for me, but it was still really difficult. Anyway, what was I saying? The interior is where I had the most fun, and that's when things kind of just really came together pretty quickly for me. So I can't wait to hop in there and show that off. I have a question for you actually. What are some of your favorite businesses to play with in The Sims 4, especially with businesses and hobbies? I'm just very curious. I haven't done much gameplay. I did do a little bit where I had a sim running like a little tavern bar kind of situation, which I thought was really fun. But yeah, I'm really curious to hear what you guys like to play with, because I would love to build more businesses like this, especially with like the apartments on top. I think it's just such a fun build to do, because you get both the community lot fun aspect of things, but then you have the living spaces, which I really enjoy building as well. We are starting on the interior. I kind of gave up on the exterior at this point, and we'll go back to landscaping much, much later, I think. But we're working with the dance studio. Now, obviously, there's a lot of open space in the dance studio, but I really wanted to make sure I had like a couple walls full of mirrors so your Sims can check out their form. We're getting a stereo system, that's very important. And then we have some of these like invisible dance floor items. I can't remember which pack this one's from, but we have a couple of them. I think with like Get Together might have some, but then there's also some from I think the Party Essentials kit as well. So there's a few options there. I just can't remember which one I used. I loved pulling out this funky like light bulb artwork kind of thing here. I thought it matched really well with the industrial vibe I was trying to go for. But overall, in this area, we just get some clutter items. I thought adding some lockers here would be pretty cool for the Sims who maybe are somewhat regulars, or maybe it's just a place for anyone to just kind of dump their things, because sometimes you change. You don't just come in to the dance studio in your dancing gear. So you have to kind of, I don't know, change and get comfy, and then you might want to change out as well before you leave, because you might be a little sweaty from your dancing. Um, on the other side of the dance studio, I thought about putting another dance floor, but I was like, what if there were like something else to do here? Because obviously the main point is the dancing, but I thought about yoga. I did, but I end up getting this lecture board here. I don't know if dance is a lecture like skill. I didn't actually play test that. Maybe I should have, but maybe you can do some classes here of some sort. I didn't put like any chairs or anything around, so if that's you, maybe your sim can like just pull out chairs from their inventory or something. Like maybe folding chairs from Love Struck come to mind. Like, I don't know, that's just a thought, kind of almost as if they were in storage and then you just pull them out for classes. Maybe there's some in one of the lockers. I don't know. Clearly, we're going to be bouncing around from interior to exterior as I find certain things that I'm like, oh, maybe this will work out here. And then I'm throwing up a business sign trying to figure out what looks like dance to me. And I just think I stick with this one, I think. So I don't know. You guys can let me know if you think that fits. I feel like we need more like business signs. Over here on this raised platform, I do end up putting like the lobby entrance area kind of thing. It's not very fancy. I get that artwork up, and then also I think a sofa. I think that's about it. Now we're playing around with graffiti and trying to see if any of that would fit in here. I'm thinking posters, neon lights that match the vibe, and I don't know. I liked it. I really like it in here. And then at this point, the dance studio is pretty much organized and put together. So now I'm just going to add like little clutter pieces, like some plants. I think I get some shoes. Here I'm trying to figure out weird gray line is coming from, but that's actually from the lecture board. I figured that out later. We're getting industrial lighting. I think these are actually from the industrial loft kit. And then I'm throwing around like water bottles and yoga mats and extra shoes and workout trays, and I even get the weights here from Adventure Weights and all of that fun stuff. Oh, I do get a chair over here, just one, but you know, I don't know. I thought it was cute. It's very simple in here, but it is a dance studio, and that's pretty much all you need. Here's the lobby area I was just speaking about a little bit, so obviously nothing too crazy going around over here. There is a like check-in booth kind of thing, so you can charge your Sims money as they come in. And then here is the bathroom. The layout I struggled a little bit with, but I think I found like a divider somewhere. I forget which one. But I think that really helped because I thought about putting more lockers and all that stuff. It might actually be this one. I just turn it around and add benches somewhere. So we get details like towels and hand sanitizer to look like soap. I don't know, this bathroom is relatively simple, honestly. But we need it. What I wish I could have fit in here were maybe some showers. And maybe I could have gotten rid of like a toilet stall or something, but it's okay. It is what it is. But here's where I'm rotating the divider and I'm finding these benches from high school years. Kind of like if you're waiting in line for someone to get out of the toilet so that you can go. Now we are finally on to my favorite part of the whole build is the apartment upstairs. I just adore this space. Like, I can't even begin to tell you how much I really like how it came together. I did struggle at first. Here I'm starting in this little bump out that I pretty much knew I wanted it to be the dining area because of the shape of like the square or whatever. It just made sense to me. So I'm trying to figure out some built-in bookshelves over here. I can't remember which ones I end up keeping because I tried a whole bunch of different ones. I think I might keep this Life and Death one paired with the Book Nook kit with these windows. I think I really like that look of it. And I end up probably getting some decor on there, maybe a stereo of some sort. And then we use a lot of these, I think these are Desert Luxe kit curtains. You're going to see those kind of throughout the space up here. And now we get to pick out our dining table and chairs, and I go through a few different options before I finally land on one. I think I might even keep this table. My memory escapes me. Like I said, I built this a long time ago. Pulling out this rug though was just game changer. I think this might be from high school years, if I'm not mistaken. I really like the pattern here, and then this is where the vibe of the sim personality comes out for me. I immediately saw like this really cool dance instructor type person that I feel like I have met many times in my life, and someone who I was like, when I was younger, I'd be like, wow, that person's just so cool and edgy. You know, like maybe they're into tattoos and they're into art. That was a big thing for me because I put this centerpiece here with like these cool little pottery pieces, and throughout the rest of the interior of this build I feel like they just really lean into some artsy like decor. We obviously, right above the stairs, we have that big painting of the two dancers, which I think was really nice. I'm also not spending much time showing you on camera, but I used the half wall for like the railing of the stairs, but used the glass wallpaper to kind of make it look fancy. I also eventually put some more glass walls to divide up the space, and then you can kind of look from the dining room to the living room and vice versa. We get this like little cart end table over here that I end up putting statues on. I think that came from like Get to Work, and I don't think I've ever used it before, but I used it like 2 times in this build and I really like that look. It feels like mini book cart to me, so I thought that was fun. And then I'm using this ladder shelf that came with the garden to table kit. At the point of me building this, that kit was relatively new still, so I definitely had to use it here. And I liked adding just little bits of clutter up here, and I thought this was just super, super cute. I don't know. You guys are gonna have to let me know. What else comes in this dining room is probably another, maybe a little chair by the bookcases. I think we get some board game clutter up here. We're using the tool mod to kind of adjust the heighting a little bit and just throwing in whatever else I can really think of in this space to use. Oh, I switch out the statues apparently. And then this is where, oh, I don't get a radio. Instead, I get a little phone. I think that's fun. Oh, cute. It's like, I like watching my builds back sometimes after some time like this, because then it's like I'm rediscovering the details I chose with you guys, and that's kind of really fun to do. The chair I put in this corner is also from, nope, it's from the Desert Lux kit. I was thinking of using one of the ones from the newer kits that we just got that the name is blanking on me right this second, but yeah, hopefully you guys know what I'm talking about. And then finishing up this dining room with some little touches with some artwork, I think, over there. Do I end up doing it? Yes. Oh, I do this thing where I take the businesses and hobbies string lights and I frame it around the door, and then I do that multiple times throughout the build. I do it with the round industrial loft windows and other ones. Oh, here's the glass wall divider I was talking to you about. I really like that detail, because then here is where our living room space is, and I, at this point, yes, I decide I want to go with red instead of the blues. So I changed the rug over here and changed some of the brown tones, I think. Yes, I do. Haha, fun. But for the most part, I keep everything. But clearly, it's taking me a minute to figure it out. And I think I deleted a couple of chairs because I didn't like how crowded it felt. So anyway, back to the living space. We have our industrial loft sofa, because since I was going with the industrial loft vibe, I really wanted to use that. And then we're going to pick out a couple of chairs to match it. I just can't remember which ones I use. I think I stick with these. These are also from a recent kit that I cannot remember the name of for the life of me, so I'm very sorry. And then we're getting some end tables, I think. Maybe we stick with these from, I think these are also from the Desert Lux kit as well. So that is super fun. Unless I switch them out for these Jungle Adventure ones, which maybe I do. Or maybe I go back. I don't know. You guys are going to have to wait and see, because I keep saying which ones I use and then I change my mind in the process. So that is embarrassing. It looks like I stick with maybe Jungle Adventure. I get some curtains up, and then we're going to try and figure out our rug situation over here. Alright, maybe we switch gears for a second, because there's been a lot of Sims news recently, including a new expansion pack coming out this month, in a couple of weeks actually, Royalty and Legacy. Let me know if you guys are excited for that at all or not. I think I'm a little excited for it. I have to be quite frank and honest. I haven't really spent too much time kind of with the trailers and the sneak peeks or anything, only because life has been kind of really busy for me right now. But I am really excited. Also, this is the first time that pre-ordering, I think the pre-order is a bundle. So if you pre-order it, you get 2 of the new kits for free. One is a Create a Sim kit, I believe, and the other one is called a Tea Time Solarium kit. So that's more build buy items, which I'm really excited to explore more of. But as this living room is coming together, if there is any kind of Royalty and Legacy build ideas you have that you might want to see me try, let me know down in the comments, because I'm starting to kind of brainstorm something. So if you have any ideas at all, that would really help me out, and then I can make sure I do something you guys want to see. So it looks like I have finally decided on what this living room is going to look like. We moved these dividers up to match kind of the wall up here, and use that to divide up the space a little bit more from the staircase. And now we're going to just add in little bits of odds and ends, like some lamps. We've got some plants. I end up squeezing some bookshelves over here by the door to the bathroom. And then what we didn't see is me adding lights over there as well, the string lights. So you'll see that, you can probably see that a little bit, plus like some pipes and things from Industrial Loft to kind of give it more of that Industrial Loft feel here. When I put these stairs down originally, I would automatically had the idea to put like the kitchen island underneath the stairs. So that piece was kind of a no-brainer, and here I'm kind of trying to decorate it a little bit. I really liked this gnome graffiti for some reason, so it does stick around, but in the kitchen. It just felt very, like, I had this sim pictured in my mind, and it felt like something that they would enjoy, plus more of these artworks from Love Struck in different swatches though. And then I think I stick with this pastel pop end table, and it just brought in some more personality a little bit. So we get a record player up here as well, and then a couple little other clutter pieces. Like, I really feel like this sim is just so cool. Like, this is the coolest sim in my mind. And you guys might have to let me know, what do you think about the sim that lives here? I just think they're so cool. I'm literally obsessed with them, and they don't even exist yet, unless someone wants to make them for me, or maybe I can make them. I don't know. I would never play with them though. I always say I'm gonna do gameplay, and then I just never do it, which is kind of a bummer. Or I do it for a short while and then I just stop. But I digress. We have moved on to the kitchen here now. I do have this really big window, but I didn't want to get rid of it. So I'm trying to like kind of make it work a little bit with the counters and cabinets, but also the appliances, but not block the window either. So I think ultimately it came out pretty nice. I really do enjoy the layout of this kitchen. I think it just makes sense. We have our stove over on this side here, and our fridge and sink over by the rounded window. I know it's so funny. I was like, I don't want to block that big window, but then I blocked this industrial window over here. So, I guess you have to pick and choose your battles a little bit. Here I'm trying to add in these pipe ventilation things. I might keep them, maybe. I know I was struggling with it a little bit and trying to figure out how they should be laid out. So we're gonna have to wait and see, and if this is something I keep or not. I might just keep them. Nope, it looks like I did not keep them at all. Sometimes I have to turn the camera off and figure it out. I add a half wall to divide, because I don't know. I don't like the oven usually being at the end of the cabinets, but not have anything blocking the other side of the oven, if that makes sense. That might just be a me problem. I just don't like it. We also think I add like some blue and black tiling as well behind some of the counters. And yeah, we're picking out a rug here and figuring out what to do with the window too. That was a real big struggle for me. And then also trying to bring in some reds was kind of difficult. I think I end up keeping what rug? This one. I really like this one, the magic carpet rug. That's what I call it. It feels very Aladdin to me. It does look like the magic carpet from Aladdin. I really think it does. But in front of the window, we get some more greenery. I felt like that was a good place. Maybe this is like a herb garden or something. Maybe, in your kitchen. Sure. And then I imagine this sim might have a small dog. It could be a cat, but I didn't put a litter box anywhere. I was really just imagining, sorry, tongue-tied, and I'm not doing that again. I was really just imagining a small dog here, and I thought that was really cute. Like, I don't know, maybe like a little chihuahua or something. Adorable. So now the rest of this kitchen is coming along with some clutter. We have a smoothie maker over here, like a little blender. I thought that was really important because maybe they're very health conscious and they like smoothies in the morning or something, those kinds of things. And then yeah, we're getting a lot of clutter. I also had the chance to add some more items from the garden to table. I really love those clutter items there as well. So yeah, we're just making sure that this whole space is very cluttered, very lived in, and cozy. At least it's cozy in my opinion anyway. I don't know. I really enjoyed this vibe. Like, I really need to do more industrial builds. I always forget how much I enjoy them until I actually do one. And yeah, we got the little gnome planter over there, and then we're gonna move on to kind of start off this like office space. This was kind of a weird little area, so I considered doing a dance floor here for like at home practices, but I was like, why? They can just go downstairs. Like, that's silly. So instead, I decided to use a desk to kind of also divide the space a little bit. And I think that one's from high school years, if I'm not mistaken. And then that chair is from the Crystal Creations pack. And then, yeah, we clutter up that desk with like your office clutter, some plants, probably a pen holder. I'm filtering through a ton of different packs. We get a couple of poofs around. I change out the desk apparently to this one from the Comfy Gamer and get some shelves up. I don't know. Lots of stuff. I'm just kind of narrating as I see things come up. So I apologize. Again, I built this in 2025 and it has been so long. January itself has felt like 1,002 days in my life because I mean, I've had a lot happening at work. I had a lot of big changes in my personal life, and it's just been a really hard adjustment for me this year. But I think I'm finally starting to feel like I'm getting back on track here. I think so. Stay tuned, okay? But here we have our bathroom. So this was tricky because I did have this giant glass wall, right? So I just covered it up with a Desert Lux curtain. I don't usually cover windows up like that. Oh, and I clearly didn't. I moved it. I don't know. I like the natural sunlight in builds, and I don't like covering windows up completely. I like to imagine Sims can if they wanted to, but I don't care if they can or don't or whatnot. So yeah, this bathroom is very moody. It's very like, we have the red tiling, we have the black toilet. I don't think I use that too much. The black sink, a black swatch shower. Like, it's very, very moody. This is the only bathroom for the sim in the apartment anyway, besides the one in the dance studio. So this is the bathroom, and I wanted it to just feel very luxurious at the same time too. So I hope you guys enjoy it too. But we get some towels, maybe some artwork up here, but that's pretty much it. This bathroom came together pretty well. And then that pretty much just leaves the bedroom plus the balcony spaces for us to furnish together. So we will jump into that too. And I had a lot of fun here. So we have this like random third floor box up here. And I knew ever since I put this box up here that this was probably going to be the bedroom. And I really enjoyed it. There's also a couple of items I knew I wanted to kind of place in here. But first, I found this like decorative balcony item and put it in this bedroom. I don't know. I actually kind of really like the look of that. Um, I think I end up putting some greenery, some plants and stuff over there too. So, but first, I'm trying to figure out what I want to put behind the record player. So I went with the industrial loft kit and got this like wall decor thing happening. I knew I wanted to keep in this neon painting artwork thing from Love Struck. I just love the vibes there, and I felt like it matched The Sims so well. We also leaned into a lot of life and death in here too. I think those were like great little accent furnitures, and I felt like this bed swatch really matched well too with the vibe I was going for. And once again, I am using that get to work cart table and table thing for our side table next to the bed, which I thought was fun. There's that greenery I decided to place in the little makeshift window box. I felt like that was a little fun touch as well. One other item I just really wanted to include in here, which I don't include in many builds almost ever, is the bubble blower machine. I just felt like that was such a fun little activity for our sim here. At first I was like, maybe I could do another skill building activity, but I don't know, there was just something about this sim unwinding after a long day with their bubble machine, and maybe having a friend come up here and them just kind of hanging out a little bit. It just like sounded so fun to me, even though like that's an activity I honestly would not partake in real life. That's just not my interest, but in gameplay I think that would be super fun. We also end up getting a vanity table up here too, so that your sim can like get her makeup done. Maybe she's really into that. Or him, it could be, who knows. But yeah, and then we just get some artwork, maybe some other curtains up there. But we have moved on now to our balcony space. This one back here ends up being where your sim can do yoga, because I know I thought about putting that in the dance studio, but I decided not to. So instead, here it is. And then we've got some wall planters out here as well. I really did picture this sim maybe being really health conscious, and maybe they like to grow some of their own veggies and fruits and things. So, but they don't have like a yard space. So this is kind of how we do that here in this apartment area. So we get some garden clutter over here. I think I get a chair or a bench, maybe just a chair over here actually. But that's our first balcony. Our other balcony ends up getting a grill and a little 2-seater table for like outdoor dining or hanging out. I thought that was kind of a little fun touch too. So that's what we're going to do right here. I thought about a bench as well, but it didn't feel like it filled up the space, right? It just took up either too much room or something. So that's why I ended up getting a little 2-seater table as well. But we get a grill, we get a little trash can out here, and that is pretty much the apartment side of things. And then we have to finish up the landscaping, which I was really putting off. And honestly, I closed the game for days, maybe even weeks, before I finally opened it up and said, I have to do something with this landscaping. I have to figure it out. And that's what we're going to do in just a quick second, after I get a little more like clutter and some string lights and things up here. Overall though, my initial thoughts after building this build was that I had so much fun with it. Even with the struggles that I had with the landscaping and exterior details, I still really enjoy how it came out. So here is our first attempt at trying to figure out the exterior. So I knew I wanted more greenery out here because we have a lot of dark, moody colors. So I felt like that was really important. Plus a lot of lighting around too. Some more seating areas for Sims waiting for dance class to start, or maybe waiting for their Ubers or Lyfts or taxis, cabs, whatever you want to call it. If Sims even have that. I know we don't have cars in this game. I know, controversial. I don't think we need them, but that's just my opinion. So I end up deciding that I just need to fill up a lot of this space with concrete. I have back here a little like trash can area, which I thought was really cute. I don't know. I thought that was kind of a nice little fun alcove moment. And then I just decided to get some more of these green bushes around and some of these other greenery flower planter boxes. I don't know what you really want to call them. And then some terrain paint. Just kidding, no terrain paint. I decided I'm just filling this whole thing up with concrete. We're not even going to play with the grass. And then we're just going to get a bunch of little decor around. I make this little makeshift like little bike rack area here. I think there's a debug item in, maybe it's in this pack. Maybe it's businesses and hobbies. There's that debug item that is literally a bike rack where you can park your bikes, lock them up, and all this stuff. This thing, yes. So I'm using this and a couple of debug bikes as well to kind of add to the build. Kind of, it makes sense because maybe you bike here to dance class or whatnot. And then we're going to get maybe some fencing around. We get a couple of trees. I really leaned heavily on the debug items, specifically from businesses and hobbies, so that it would match the world a little bit. But I think this is pretty much what it comes out to. We probably add a couple more details, I think, especially just kind of repeating more items around the build and trying to balance it out in a way that made sense. I got some more, like I switched up these greenery pieces, and then I end up getting a bench back here, and like it looks like, I don't know, some kind of heater furnace type thing. Adding awnings to the build also, I felt like helped add some more dimension. And then we start adding some fences around too. I think I ultimately kind of fenced the whole place off. I don't add gates or anything, like there's openings to walk through, but it gives like a very more finished look. And then I even played around with checkered tiles, and then I actually keep these. So I actually really like how this came out too. We needed it. Welcome, Bob Pancakes, to your new home. We're in Nordhaven in live mode. It's kind of a quiet street, to be honest. There's an empty lot over here, which is kind of weird, but you know what? That is okay. Bob is already coming upstairs to kind of get us going here, but we are going to have to start a home business so that we can get this all kind of separated as far as the spaces go. So let me remind myself how to do that. So over here in the own business menu, we're going to register a small business, and we're going to call it Bob's Dance Studio, I suppose. We'll use the little music icon. I think that is fitting. Okay, so this is how I have it all set up. We have Bob's Dance Studio. Presets, we have some dance, obviously. Lift free weights, because I do have that in here. And then just be friendly. Some social interactions can happen. Not too much happening here, though. For our business lot assignment, we have this lot here, as you can see, and then we have an entrance fee one time only of 23 simoleons. That could probably be changed. I mean, I'm not here to try to make money right now anyway, so it's okay. Price modifier 0%. For our target customers, I have Sims with a level 2 or more of the dancing skill. I have Sims who are either teen, young adult, or adult. Also, if they have the dance machine trait, I think that might be fun. So now that our small business is registered, I can hop back into build mode and we can assign our spaces here thanks to these beautiful little boxes. So down here obviously is going to be public. So all of the, oop, I didn't mean to grab a rug here. That's public. Anything in pink pretty much is public. I have to change this room with the stairs here to residential, and then I have to change all of this up here as well to residential. Don't forget your balconies, that's very important. It'll be hard for them to get up here though, because the staircase is in the residential box. There we go. I think we have it. We have all blue up here and mostly pink down here. We'll start the business tomorrow, so for now I will have Bob come and test up out here. I just love the vibes in here. Very industrial, kind of modern-ish, but also kind of rustic. I don't know. It's giving like New Girl, but better vibes. So Bob is over here watching TV. Our little loner. Love it. I'm going to have him come in and test the bathroom. We'll do all the things. We'll take a shower and we'll use the toilet, but let's get a nice little bird's eye view of here. I like how this bathroom came out. I love the black paint up here, the reds and browns. It really matches the rest of the vibe too of this build. Oh my god, Bob, did you have to spill all over the place? So he's going to clean that up for us, and I am going to force him to wash his hands because gross. He can't wash his hands. Okay, let's fix that. I wonder if it's just not snapped right. And maybe now you can? No. I'm gonna hide this because that's annoying me now. Maybe if I move it out and over more. I wonder if this box is in the way. It was the box. That kind of sucks because I liked having that there as decor, but whatever. Next, how about we cook something? I also don't have a pet here, but I imagine that a sim here might want like maybe a small dog is what I was imagining, but it could be a cat too. Anyway, let's see what Bob wants to eat. Let's make some soup. Actually, I could go for some soup today. I might have to do that later. Oh, he's already testing our desk area here, which is good. I just love the vibes in this build so much. What do you mean? You can't prep over here? No, I don't want to deal with the welcome wagon. Okay, so I need to figure out how to get some space over here. Yikes. Okay, this is a little unfortunate, but maybe I have to get rid of some of these things, or at least move them over to this corner cabinet, counter, whatever you want to call it. I'm okay if I lose the dish drying rack, I think, because I still really like how that corner is. So maybe let's try that. Okay, resume. There we go. Now we're functioning. Look at this. This is so cute. Okay, now we're gonna walk over here and use our oven, and our kitchen is functional. My favorite part in this kitchen is this gnome like graffiti. I love using that on the interior. That was actually so fun. Ooh, lag. And then it paired well with like this black and blue tiling that we got here. All right, why don't we eat? And I actually was hoping that he was going to come right here too. I'm turning this music off. Oh, sorry, Bob. I did get you something spicy and hot, didn't I? Bob, turn off. We're going to war here over this turntable music. Our kitchen is completely functional. Let's just take a look at our porches here. We have this one here with just a little dining, extra dining, a grill, and a trash can. Over here is our full dining space here. I think this was one of the first spots I actually decorated, so I really like it. It really like kicked off the vibes of this build here. I really enjoyed this little ladder piece with some extra clutter. And then out here we have just some gardening pots. Maybe we can purchase some seeds. Let's do some flowers. That might be fun. And then we'll have him come and plant these. I don't think I've ever used these vertical planters, so this is really fun. Yeah, look at that. I've actually never seen anyone planting them. I've put them in my builds before, but it's kind of crazy. Then we'll just have Bob come and try our little yoga mat out here. I think this would be very cute, especially like it's so late at night. Like, just look at these vibes. Namaste, Bob. Namaste. Before bed, I wonder if Bob would like to sit and try the bubble blower machine. I don't know why, but I really wanted to add this into the build. I just felt like it fit the sim I was trying to portray over here, but you guys can let me know if you agree or disagree. You can also put like a chess table or other skill building items up here if you want in place of that. Eliza, you're so obsessed with us. Gosh. You can have music for this one. Good for you, Bob. Good for you. But yeah, I really enjoy this bedroom. You have a little vanity table over here, a bookshelf, your dressers over here. We use a lot of, I think, life and death in this one. I think this bed is from that and this. And then my new thing is using this little end table. This is from like a get together or get to work. It might be get to work actually. So I really like using that as a little nightstand too. So Bob, why don't we turn this off and why don't we go to sleep so we can open your business in the morning? Good night, Bob. Why is Eliza calling at like 11 o'clock? She literally is obsessed with him. It's morning, so Bob is testing our smoothie machine, but kind of failing. Can you try again? Ew, Bob. Alright, try this again. There we go. A nice green smoothie for breakfast. Alright, I think it is time to open Bob's dance studio. Bob, I think he's broken. Alright, it is time to open Bob's dance studio officially. First day of business. Let's turn on what would be some good dance music. Maybe some hip hop? Oh my god. For a second I thought these walls weren't painted, but they are, thank god. We've got someone in! Look at that! Bob, maybe you should come and come here and talk up the dance studio, maybe? Maybe you should also dance. Eliza, we're working. He's trying. He's trying. We've got a couple people in here. Some people trickling in, too. Look at that. We're getting some money. Ooh, we should do a dance battle. Who is this? Freya, I want to introduce myself to you. And then we're gonna do a dance battle. Wait, no. We're doing a dance battle with Bella Goth. That's it. I didn't even know she was here. There she is. Stay, Bella. Stop chatting. Everyone's just watching her. You guys gotta go outside and do this? Alright, where are we going? Bella, I like your outfit. Ooh, let's go. Dance battle. You guys are blocking my view. Mortimer Goth had to join in. Okay, well, I think it's safe to say that this dance studio could do pretty well. I mean, you just need people to come and dance, but they also have the option to lift weights. We do have the whiteboard over here in case you want to do a class of some sort. I don't know. Maybe you can rent out the space for a class or something, and there's like folding chairs somewhere, but otherwise your Sims can just come here for a good time, you know? And maybe even a long time if they wanted to. I also forgot to mention we do have a bathroom over here too. Maybe we should come and test this out. Do I not have any lights in here? Wait, that's kind of embarrassing. How do I not have any lights in here? Actually, we have some lights in the kitchen that I think I can use. Yeah, that is totally my bad. I think we can just use 2 like that. I think that's good. Okay, well, I hope you guys really enjoyed this dance studio and apartment build. Bob, Eliza, quit it. I'm trying to do my outro. I hope you guys enjoyed this build today as much as I enjoyed building it. It's been a while since I've done a business, like a small business and apartment type build like this, so it was really fun. If you want to see more in the future, let me know what kind of businesses you want me to build. I am totally down for it. And yeah, thank you guys again for watching. Also, a big shout out to my channel members for supporting me in that way. You guys are so amazing. I think that's it. I'm feeling a little rusty, but I will talk to you all in the next one. Bye!